Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad to be back. I know I've been MIA for a little bit, but I'm back with another video. So apologies first of all if you hear a bit of noise outside. It is later on in the day and I live right by the main road and there's a lot of noise and stuff, so yeah, apologies for that. So in this video I just want to talk about school. Yeah, I'm doing my master's now, which is crazy because my last video was on how to survive being in law school, you know, or doing like your first law degree that would allow you to qualify as a lawyer, you know, once you've done your bar exams and all of that. Now I am doing this video about doing my master's, so obviously I survived. So go and watch that video. I'll link it somewhere here and you can see just my tips on surviving law school and just surviving university in general and staying motivated. This is the second time I'm actually recording this video because it deleted. Well, it didn't delete actually, it looked like crap, so I had to do another one, but I hope this one comes out good because I ain't doing this for the third time. But anyway, this video is about my study tips. We are right in the thick of exams right now at my university, and I just thought that this video would be helpful to someone who is, you know, doing their law exams or doing any exams really. Some of the tips are specific to law students, but some of them are very general and can be used by anyone who is, you know, studying towards a tertiary degree, because a lot of the tips I also used when I was in high school even. So I hope this is helpful. We'll get right into it. I have my trusty notepad here. So I'm just going to tell you guys how I have been studying for my exams basically since I started first year of law school and of university really, and yeah, and hopefully you can find these helpful. Okay, so this is what I do. Okay, I start about 2 weeks in advance, or about a month to 2 weeks before the exam period starts, right? I start gathering my notes, I start organizing things, I start reading things, catching up with the readings, and what I do is I start with the first exam in my exam schedule. That's the course that I'll start studying for first, and then the second one I'll study for second, kind of thing. So just so that by the time that I actually need to write it, I've gone over everything that I need to go over. So yeah, just highlighting, using the course outline, because that way I make sure that I don't miss out any crucial cases that I need to know, any legislation that I need to know, any academic articles that I need to kind of engage with and be able to use in my exam perhaps. Anything that's examinable is probably in your course outline, so use that as a guide as to what to focus on for your exams. And then just in terms of my notes, I usually just split them up according to the topic or the area of law, and then I list the legal sources that are relevant to that topic. So the crucial things will be the big cases that I need to know, the legislation or the provisions that I need to know, and then any other academic articles like I said before. So just start going over your notes a week before, and you know, 2 weeks to a month before. I know you're supposed to study like way in advance, but we know that that's not easy, and a lot of the time we don't do that because of, you know, you have things due, assignments, and just life in general happening throughout the semester. So you only really start studying, you know, during the consolidation period or before. So I usually just start very slowly. I don't put too much pressure on myself about a month before, and then as the consolidation period comes closer and closer, my exam time is coming closer and closer, I intensify the study. I lengthen my study time and intensify the studying. And then days before, leading up to the exam, I start to condense the information into smaller and smaller papers. So the thing is with me, I really like to write down my notes. So usually I'll start off with the notebook that I've been using throughout the semester. That's what I'll read over, and then the course, you know, the course reading or whatever, that's what I'll read. And then as I read more and more and as I know more and more, I write it down and create kind of mind maps. By the time that I finished, I have like a paper about this big with the whole course on it. That's how I know that I know the work, if I can condense the information in such a way that, you know, there's a mind map and I have it in my brain already. So that's what I do next. And then the night before the exam, I go over past papers. And this is crucial for me. It's so important and so necessary to go over past papers, even if it's just browsing over the questions 15 minutes before I enter the exam room. It's so important. It serves several purposes. The first one is to calm me down and remove a lot of the anxiety that comes with the exam, especially for law school exams. The kind of questions you'll get will probably bombard you with like a lot of facts, a lot of legislation and stuff, and it can be quite overwhelming. So taking away that anxiety of, you know, dealing with a lot of information at one time, you know, I find it helpful to look over past papers, because generally the way that they ask the questions are going to be the same, and you know, you know what to expect, right? That's the first thing. The second thing is that, like I said, you know what to expect. The formatting of questions is going to be the same, so you are going to know exactly what you're getting into. Sometimes you get thrown a curveball. They'll ask you a question that they've never asked in previous years. That happens, especially if the law has changed. But in general, the format of the question is going to be the same. So I cannot emphasize this enough. Go over past papers. Something that I learned from one of my lecturers for a course called property law, which is one of the harder courses that you do in your law degree. It's one of those ones that everybody struggles with. Got some really good advice from one of our lecturers, well, the lecturer for the course.